morning guys, my name is OTG and I'd like to welcome you to episode number 11 of our Colchester United Career Mode series. And we're in January transfer window. We had the financial takeover and these are just a few players that were interesting. There's quite a lot, but I'm not obviously going to get all of them, but I just put them down there so I had an idea of who I wanted to go for. And I think one of the big guys was this guy, Kurt Zouma. He was a hot favourite on my list. He is such a good player. He's not pacey, but he's good in the air, he's young, and he has a really good potential, and that's what I was after. High potential players for a reasonable price, and I put in a £3.7 million bid. And we also go for a new goalkeeper, which is Jack Butland. It was either him or the Celtic goalkeeper, which I can never get, I can't remember his name, Forster, that's it, Forster, and he was on the list, but I wanted to go for a younger keeper who had to have more build up, and I went for Jack Butland. We also went for this guy called Jesse Rodriguez for Real Madrid's secondary team, and he looked like a really good player, so he'd come in as a replacement for Raheem Sterling afterwards, and we would have a bit of squad rotation. Sterling obviously can go to the side, and John Taylor can have a rest and all that stuff. But then we also have to sell a few players, and I do put a few players on the list. Obviously Carl Duguid is considering retirement, and I basically just put on the list all the players that are getting old and getting on, and I think are not going to need in the squad. And Marcus Bean was very unhappy, so I decided that it would be in the club's best interest to put him out on transfer. And also with Clinton Morrison, he's getting old. He scored like one goal for us against Sheffield United, and we don't need him anymore. Kem is it, who's a Colchester legend, he has to go as well, sadly. And obviously with Magnus Okwonge not leaving, that really does mean that we can get rid of the other goalkeeper, Matt Heath, because if we bring in Zouma, then Eastman can be a young protege. I've also putting people on loan like Bradley Hamilton and all them other lads, because they are very good future stars, and they just need that time. Because look, this James Lewis has like 90 agility. I mean, come on. But obviously we're not going to put John Taylor out on loan, because he is probably one of my most favourite players on the in the squad, because he is so pacey, but he's so good on the ball. And one of our young players, Paul Pogba and Raheem Sterling, are two loanee players. They have really come out on trumps for me. I really do enjoy using them. But we do have to go into our first game against Stevenage Borough, our local rivals. And this game was a bit of a weird one. Obviously last time we played when we won 4-3, it was an absolute amazing match. I enjoyed it, I hope they enjoyed it. And well, it was really end-to-end stuff. You couldn't fault it. And the entertainment value was so high. It was like really exciting, and I couldn't keep my eyes off it. I was cheering. I don't know, I was actually cheering physically. I was getting all excited, but just for a game of FIFA, it's like I don't normally do that, but I felt like I needed to do it for this one. And obviously it's a derby, we're at our home ground, we should have the advantage, but things don't really go the way they're planned, as John Taylor does in fact pick up an injury. Why does it happen every single time? So we obviously have to make substitutes. But John Taylor, he was one of the most key players in the squad. I loved the guy. He was so good, but he's picked up an injury, and I can tell you it's actually for 3 months. So it's not exactly the best thing for me personally. Obviously it's not going to benefit the squad either, but we've got to live on. Massey does come on for him, and hopefully things can continue at the club. But we do in fact draw 0-0 with Stevenage. That was the only highlight. But John Taylor, he's obviously gonna be a big player in the future. But we do get offers for Freddie Sears. As I did say, he is such an amazing player. I reject Fulham's offer because I didn't really want them to take Sears. He's a young player, and he's got a real star-studded future, you could say. He is going to be a very big future star for me. I really do like the kid. And I also dismiss Celtic's offer because I don't want to get rid of him. But Jesse Rodriguez has decided that he is okay. We just have to offer him a contract. Real Madrid are willing to let him go, so we have to try and put in a contract offer. Same with Jack Butland. He is actually Birmingham's 3rd keeper, so we'll take him any day because he is a very good keeper. He would be the #1 keeper at the squad, and for 5 years, I'm perfectly fine with that. And Kurt Zouma, of course, as well. We're going to put is not exactly going to go for too cheap, so I had to upgrade my offer a little bit. I wasn't expecting him to go for little or nothing. But Jack Butland does come back and accept, and he is our brand new goalkeeper, guys. So that last game we played against Stevenage was our last game with the full squad, obviously with John Taylor injured. And we also bring in Jesse Rodriguez, so we bring in 2 players when we go into our next match against Brentford, who we lost our largest defeat to, which was 3-0. Shocking game, we should have done more. And there's striker Donaldson. I did have a look at him, but I decided against having a go because I wanted Freddie Sears to be the main guy. I'd obviously bring in another striker as his secondary, but I'm not sure. I do bring him in, but that is in later on in the episode, I think. Not even this episode, maybe the next. But Brentford, obviously, we know they're going to be a difficult team. We're going to have to put in everything we have to try and get all 3 points against them. They are a difficult team. Obviously, we are unbeaten in the league for about 12, 15 games or something like that. 12 to 15 games it definitely is. But obviously we've got Jesse Rodriguez, our brand new left mid. I've gone for him down the left, Sterling down the right and Sears in the middle, and Butland's our new goalkeeper because, you know, it is a pretty strong team and we need that win. And you can see the league, we're in 4th, Doncaster are on the same points as us, but things don't go up the best way we could like. In the 47th minute they sweat it out. You know, this keeps happening. They just do the ultimate sweats and score a goal. It was a very back and forward game, but they picked up the first chance in the second half. So it's the first goal of the episode, and it goes to our opponents. Not exactly nice, but we were always going to push our hardest with just a counter-attacking play, a through ball to Raheem Sterling, and, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Jesse Rodriguez scores in his debut to sweat it out. It was a nice sweat though. I think their sweat was not a nice sweat. Our sweat was a lovely sweat. So I'll take pride in that one. But it's a goal. We're going to take it. It's against a team that we struggled with last season. And, you know, a point against Brentford would be lovely. And that is, in fact, guys, how the game ends. We draw 1-0 with Brentford. After losing 3-0 to them, to come back and draw 1-0, that you've got to be quite impressed. And, of course, Matthew Heath goes out and is sold. Sadly, well, he's done so well for us, but we had to sell him because in case we do bring in Kurt Zouma, which I think we already have, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. We did bring in Kurt Zouma. And we also go for a lad called Jetto Williams and Vernon Anita, because I loved him. When I done my Newcastle, of course, I loved him so much, and they accept that, and we go for the contract of 25 million, quite pricey. But we've got Kurt Zouma. Can we bring in Williams and Anita? They would be absolutely amazing players. Also, though, Clinton Morrison is sold for the cheap price of around 130k, and the squad we go for is obviously putting in our new players like Kurt Zouma. That is the only new player I believe in this game, but this really strong team at the moment. I feel like we're going to be very, very strong indeed, and we're going to be challenging for the 3rd to 2nd places. I think 3rd and 2nd is where we're going to go for. That's the goal. I'm going to say it now. 1st place is out of our reach, but 2nd place is the ultimate goal. Any lower than 3rd, I'll be disappointed with us because we are doing so well. And obviously there is Kurt Zouma making his debut for the club. And we, in the 30th minute, we started off okay, passing the ball around. They were very, very poor. Anthony Wordsworth finding Freddie Sears. He turns and he places that, and the keeper just baubles it. You know, he was on a difficult angle, Sears, and he shoots. It's like a lucky shot, but somehow it just gets between him. And I do believe we lost to Scunthorpe in the first few episodes. So once again, we're doing pretty well for ourselves. We've lost a game, but now we're back on form. And Freddie Sears doing what he does best, and that's scoring some of the most difficult angles in the game. And guys, that indeed is how the game ends. 1-0 against Scunthorpe. I'm pretty pleased with that, to be honest. I don't know if you would be if you was in my boots, but Scunthorpe losing to them to a victory isn't bad. And Jetto Williams has decided he would be perfectly fine with joining Colchester United. So we have got a new left back. Obviously, that wasn't a major priority in my eyes, but a new left back. His potential is over 84, 85 something. He turns into one of the best left backs in the game. He looks very good. And we go into our last match of the episode against Oldham Athletic, and we go for Jesse Rodriguez, Sears, Ballon, Wordsworth, Pogba, the same culprits, but Jetto Williams making his debut. So obviously the squad mixing around. Jesse Rodriguez is now a permanently decent player in the squad. He's now becoming a average name, do you see? And Kurt Zouma and Okwunga at centre back. They could be very good, strong people and players. Both big black centre backs, not racism, because I know I'm going to get a comment of some description saying that. But I mean, they are two very good players. And we're on the same points with Doncaster. We always do this. But Oldham Athletic get off to the best start in the 6th minute, scoring a lucky goal. It just bounces in front, and he puts it into the back of the net. Look, how lucky can you get? I mean, Butland has had a alright start, but you know he's a good keeper. But you know their mistakes happen to Cousins as well. Hopefully, as he grows, things will change. But Freddie Sears equalises in the 33rd minute. A nice goal, clipping the hills down the yellow brick road. Lovely little goal there from Sears. He does so many of them goals where he just picks up the ball at some weird angles, like a bit of luck, and it's in the back of the net. You know, he had luck, like they have luck, and we had luck. But Oldham do come back in around the 56th minute, and they get one of them lucky goals where somehow his feet are absolutely amazing. They're possessed, and they can do whatever they feel like. Why can't EA make me do that? I'd love that, just where I can just like do little 1-2 touches and they don't tackle me. I mean, for some reason they just happen to them. Just watch like little like 1-1-1, and then he just puts it in the back of the net. God's sake, that's annoying. But we weren't going to give up. Raheem Sterling in the last minute of the game puts it in the back of the net, and we equalise against Oldham Athletic. I believe last time we may have drew with them. So there's no harm in change. There's no harm in keeping things the same. Change is not always the best thing, but we do in fact draw 2-2 with Oldham Athletic, and we also sign Vernon Anita. That is one heck of a good player to join our squad. I mean, come on, you cannot fault that. But this is the squad report. Kurt Zuma and all these new players have not upgraded at all. Yes, Heto Williams, and you can see none of the new players are important, to be honest. Well, they are important, but their potential is not huge. Anthony Wordsworth staying the same. Freddie Sears has improved, but he's not improved like level-wise. Obviously, we've got players like Ben Coker, who's going to become a good player. Eastman's just come off of the injury. Massey, I'm looking forward to his future. And Ballon, obviously, our free agent, who I will probably end up selling in the Championship when I'm bringing in some new players. But, guys, you know, this has been a very, very eventful episode, bringing in the new players. Change. I just hope in the next episode you guys will enjoy some of the matches we play and the goals we score. Because this is the table. We're in the same points as Doncaster, as it always is. Their record is one less loss than me, because obviously they've got a game in hand. Hopefully they'll lose that game in hand, because also Coventry and Sheffield United have that game in hand. But guys, I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. My name is OTG, and I'll see you guys in whatever my next video is.